Well, this week's extreme heat can take its toll on people spending time outside, especially high school athletes pushing themselves to the limit.
WDRB's Raina Katko reveals the dangers for athletes.
Practice and drills ahead of the Friday night lights. Made harder with this week's excessive heat.
This time of year is when it's the most dangerous, where kids are getting back to school, doing more intense practices for longer periods of time.
Dr. Daly says heat illness is more common than you may think.
It's something that can sneak up on you, especially if you are training in the heat and you've not been used to it all year.
In August of 2008, JCPS saw this firsthand, with Max Gilpin dying 3 days after collapsing during football practice at Pleasure Ridge Park High School. Dr. Daly says the best way for young athletes to avoid heat illnesses is to stay out of the sun.
There's windows of time where you look at the hottest times of the day between 10 and 4, where if you can avoid practicing during that time, you should. Later evening practices should be moved inside if they can, or to later times of the day if possible.
But she hopes to calm parents' nerves and let them know there are athletic trainers on the sidelines for high school practices and games.
And those individuals are trained to know the signs of heat illness, heat stroke, heat exhaustion. There are cooling mechanisms around, so if someone is in trouble, they can recognize it, get them cooled fast.
When it comes to football practice with this week's heat, it's up to each JCPS school to decide whether or not they would like to have practice later in the afternoon, as long as the heat index doesn't exceed 104 degrees. Reporting in Louisville, Raina Katko, WDRB News.